At 6:30 a.m. Israeli time on Saturday morning, the terrorist organization Hamas launched a surprised combined attack on land, water and air, including the infiltration of hundreds of terrorists, taking of hostages and intense rocket fire. Firefights broke out between the Israeli Defense Forces and the terrorists in several areas. During the attacks, more than 5,000 rockets were fired at Israel at the southern and central parts of the country. On the Israeli side, there are reports of at least 350 dead, with the number of wounded exceeding 1,800. Dozens of civilians and soldiers were taken hostage and taken back to the Gaza Strip, who are still in captivity. According to reports, the terrorists also deployed gliders and forcibly breached the border fence erected by the Israeli Defense Forces. In the past 3 weeks, continuous violent clashes have been occurring at the fence separating Israel and Gaza. At the same time, on September 29th, Hamas and Israel concluded a ceasefire mediated by Qatar, Egypt, and the United Nations. The attack occurred during the Jewish holiday of Simchat Torah and the Shabbat, and a day after the 50th anniversary of the Yom Kippur War, which also began with a surprise attack. Meanwhile, mortars were fired from Lebanon into Israeli territory, targeting the Har Dov mountain area. The terrorist organization Hezbollah claimed responsibility for the attack. The Israeli army first responded with artillery fire and then destroyed the Hezbollah tent it had set up in Israeli territory with a drone. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and U.S. President Joe Biden also warned Israel enemies not to take advantage of the situation and join the fighting. Rocket fire from Gaza continued throughout the night, concentrating on the border areas. One of the rockets also hit the Barzilai hospital in Ashkelon. In response to the attack, the Israeli Defense Forces carried out dozens of airstrikes against Hamas positions in Gaza as part of Operation Iron Swords. The Hamas-led Gaza Health Ministry reported 256 dead and 1,788 injured. According to the Israeli side, hundreds of terrorists have already been captured and neutralized. The power supply to the Strip was also cut off. Hostages that were held in Be'eri and Ofakim were freed. The police station occupied by terrorists in the city of Sderot was recaptured by the Israeli forces, and the 10 terrorists on the spot were killed. According to the IDF, 4 reserve divisions were placed on the border of the Gaza Strip, thereby increasing the strength of the 35 battalions already there. The United States, the EU, Argentina, Brazil, and India, amongst others, condemned the attack by Hamas, expressed their solidarity with Israel, and declared that Israel has the right to defend itself, describing Hamas's tactics as terrorism. Viktor Orban said on X that Hungary strongly condemns the brutal attack on Israel and clearly supports Israel's right to self-defense. I would like to express my sympathy and condolences to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Israel in these dark hours, said Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Iran, in addition to several Arab League countries such as Oman, Yemen, and Qatar, have blamed the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian territories for the violence. Russia and Turkey urged the parties to de-escalate the situation and called for a ceasefire. In many Middle Eastern countries, including Yemen, Jordan, Lebanon, Kuwait, Turkey, Bahrain, and Iran, and even in Germany, demonstrations were held in solidarity with Palestinian groups.